Looking at the head rolling on the ground prompted a brief silence from those in the martial arts gym, followed by the commotion and screams. No one expected that Gabriel would choose to commit suicide so decisively and ferociously. With one sword, he cut off his own head. Has he lost his mind? What did you do to Sir Gabriel? Nigel was sweating with fear. You want to find out? Go ask him yourself. Ignoring the shocked expressions of everyone, Dustin turned around and left the GYM.as. Soon as he left, a fully armed team immediately rushed in and sealed off the scene. Everyone involved was arrested. He didn't care to worry about what happened next. With Sergeant Spanner's power, there would naturally be no loopholes in handling this small matter. On the other side, at Fallridge Haven. What? Dustin didn't die? How could this happen? Gabriel is in the top 10 on the 100 Immortals, and he brought so many elite members of the Horst family to help him out. It should have been easy to deal with that kid. When the news came out, Caden couldn't help but furrow his brows slightly. We still don't know the details. There was no news from the dojo. We only heard that Dustin returned unharmed, the guard whispered. That's odd. Where is Gabriel? Call him and ask, Caden said thoughtfully. Sir Gabriel disappeared. The phone won't get through, and the dojo has been sealed off by the military, the guard replied. Sealed off by the military? What happened? We're not sure yet. Send someone to investigate and find out what happened, Caden ordered. Yes, sir. The guard agreed and quickly left. However, at that moment, a strong windy blade sound could suddenly be heard from outside. A military helicopter descended from the sky and landed steadily on the square.as. The cabin door opened. An old man with white hair and a burly figure, followed by several subordinates, walked out confidently. The old man had a square face, a goatee, and a dignified look, emitting a strong and powerful aura. That was the aura of a seasoned warrior, formed after many years on the battlefield. Ordinary people would shiver at the sight of him and wouldn't dare to get close. The old man was none other than Christopher Murray, the founding father of Dragonmarsh. Father? What brings you here? When Christopher walked into the council chamber, Caden, who was drinking tea, was startled. The tea spilled all over the floor, and the teacup shattered on the ground. But he didn't have time to care about that and got up to greet him respectfully, like a mouse meeting a cat. Although Christopher had not been involved in the family's affairs for 10 years, his accumulated influence over the years still made people tremble with fear. Even Caden, as the heir, didn't dare to behave out of line. Kneel down, Christopher uttered 2 words softly. What? Caden was stunned for a moment, then obediently knelt down on the ground. In the Murray family, Christopher was like a god, and no one dared to defy him. Do you know the reason why I made you kneel? Christopher sat down on the chair. His presence was imposing. I don't know. Caden lowered his head. You've damaged the reputation of our family. You did things you shouldn't have done and offended people you shouldn't have offended. The Murray family's reputation was almost ruined by you. Christopher spoke with a cold expression. Father, I don't quite understand. Caden was stunned. You don't even know you've made a big mistake. The Murray will be destroyed by you sooner or later if you don't step down from the position of head of the family. If you're not capable of handling it, then step down now. Christopher was livid. Step down? Caden was stunned. He thought his father was just going to scold him a few times, but he didn't expect him to directly strip him of his power. Over the years, he had worked hard for the Murray family, focusing on his work and getting things done. Although he didn't have much merit, he at least kept the entire family in order. Now, he was suddenly asked to step down without knowing the reason behind it. He was very dissatisfied. Father, I don't understand. What did I do wrong? Caden was unwilling. You are ignorant and short-sighted. You don't recognize a true dragon when you see one. Retire and reflect on it before you cause any bigger trouble. After you've figured it out, then we'll talk. Christopher left no room for argument. Caden opened his mouth to explain but was interrupted by Christopher. Save some dignity for yourself, and don't disappoint me further. Upon hearing this, Caden fell silent, feeling confused as he knelt on the ground. Leave and call Sheila. Christopher waved his hand. Yes? Caden didn't dare to disobey, so he bowed deeply before turning and leaving. His face was filled with gloominess. Grandpa, you really came? After a while, Sheila ran into the living room with a surprised look on her face. She threw herself into Christopher's arms and tearfully pleaded, Grandpa, you came just in time. Please, save Dustin. He's about to die. Okay, all right. Silly girl, Dustin is fine now. Christopher showed a rare smile. Back then, Caden was able to take the position of head of the family because he gave Christopher this precious granddaughter. Really? Dustin is really okay? Sheila wiped away her tears quickly. Of course. When has Grandpa ever lied to you? Christopher patted her head. Thank you, Grandpa. Excited, Sheila planted a kiss on her grandfather's face. This made the old man burst into laughter, and he couldn't stop grinning. Little girl, are you so nervous about Dustin because you have a crush on him? Christopher suddenly asked. Sheila was stunned at first, then her face turned red in an instant. Grandpa! What are you talking about? I don't have a crush on him. If you like someone, then you like them. What's there to be afraid of admitting? Young people should be bold. Christopher laughed. Grandpa, Dustin saved me before. I'm just grateful to him. Sheila lowered her head, stuttered, and her neck turned red. Just grateful? Then why were you crying for him? Little girl, if you really like him, take the initiative to pursue him, and don't miss any opportunity. That kid is not an ordinary person. If you can win him over, it will be great news for me too. Christopher rubbed his beard and laughed. After all, Dustin was the Kirrin. If he can become my grandson-in-law, those old guys will be jealous and crazy, won't they? He thought.